I'm joined by 3 of our We Speak graduates of the programme who are going to talk about their experiences working with We Speak and the Wavemaker mentors. They are Lara, Christopher and Ikra. And we're going to kick off with Lara. So I'd like to introduce you to Lara. She's studying creative writing at the University of Hull. She's going to talk to you about the impact that We Speak and Wavemaker have had on her creative voice. So, Lara, if you're there, if you could turn your video on so we can hear from you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Yeah. Can I go?
Yeah, you can go. We're just going to try and bring you to the front of the screen, I think. So, yeah.
Okay. Just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, off you go, Lara, when you're ready.
Right. Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Lara, and today I'll be talking to you about creativity and public speaking. I'll be speaking to you from the perspective of a creative writing student that could not speak in class. Now, I'm going to talk to you about before I took the program. Prior to the We Speak program, instead of talking in class or asking questions or even contributing my quota, I would rather whisper to my friend and say, just tell the lecturer, because I couldn't talk in class. And it was really crippling. It was very embarrassing. And I wasn't getting the best out of my courses as I should. I wasn't growing as a creative student. I was just stagnant, flatline. Secondly, after the We Speak program, which is where I am right now, I can tell you for certain that I am doing way better in class. I can talk now. Yes. I realized that I'm getting way more out of my courses.
Oh. Yeah, can we go on mute if you're not Lara, basically?
I'm so sorry.
You go, carry on, Lara. You're doing a brilliant job.
Background noise of other people. Fantastic.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna start again. I kind of lost my train of thought there. Okay. So secondly, which is where I am right now, I do not require anyone to speak up for me in class. I can ideate and actually speak out in class. And I feel like this is because I gained the confidence from the course, because now I use the 3-point structure to structure my answers. So, and there's just a level of confidence that comes with knowing that you know how to put your ideas in a clear and concise manner. And it really just gave me that confidence. And now I'm getting way more from my classes. I feel like I am actually doing what I'm supposed to do. And this is like the best version of myself that I have been so far. And finally, moving forward, I want to explore a career in content writing and content creation for various media. I know that this is going to require me to do interviews. And even when I get the job, I'll have to do presentations, create videos, and just generally engage with people in a way that I really could not before, because it was scary for me. But now I feel like it's going to be way easier, because the mentors I worked with during the course, they really helped me. They gave the tools that I can use to actually go out in the world. We were taught how to do interviews. We were taught how to speak about our passion in a way that was expressive and clear and concise. And I have found this really, really helpful. And I never would have thought I would do this. And here I am. It's just really exciting, really. To summarize, today I have spoken to you about how I couldn't be my best creative self. I have spoken to you about how I'm doing now, which is amazing, by the way. Thank you for asking. And I've also spoken to you about plans moving forward, which is basically going after my dreams. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I really hope that you're also able to use everything we learned in this course to go after your dreams as well. Thank you.
Lara, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Well done. That was awesome. Look, it was so lovely to see you talk today. Like, you've got so much to talk about and you've got so much energy, and it's just lovely seeing you sit there, talk and express yourself and your creative ideas. We'd love to hear more about it. So really well done. Lovely. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Lovely. All right, so now we're going to move on to our next student. So we've got Chris. So Chris is studying at Queen's University Belfast. To just give you a tiny bit more background about his talk, one of the things we do on the programme is that all the students select a topic that they're really passionate about, and they gradually as the programme goes on, practice speaking in front of more people. So by the end of it, they're speaking in front of a bigger group, hopefully without quite realising. And Chris is going to talk to you about, firstly, the impact of COVID and the impact it had on online speaking, but then he's also going to reprise the talk that he did at the end of the We Speak programme. So you get a bit of a taste of what that is like as well. So over to you, Chris.
Hi everyone. So I always got told that the best way to start off a talk was to say, imagine a world where, and go on to speak about it. But unfortunately, the world I'm going to talk about is too easy to remember and very unpleasant to remember. And that was the world of COVID-19. COVID for me created a real lack of human interaction, and it moved massive parts of everyone's lives online. A problem with this was that within the classroom, I'd just managed to get my head around speaking in front of other people within those types of scenarios, but to transfer all of these skills online, where you couldn't judge people's expression, you weren't sure how many people were actually looking at you, listening, were they on their phones. It was really hard to gauge the tempo of any sort of crowd when you were speaking to people online. So that it sort of chipped away at my confidence to be able to speak in front of large groups on Zoom or through any type of media. And you felt really untested and a little bit unprepared. But then I came on and done the We Speak program, and they encouraged me to focus on my passion rather than the audience and focus on the material. And they let me talk in front of peers and facilitators and all the professionals at Wavemaker. And it just really inspired me to want to deliver the material I had, not just to recite it. So it was quite a different experience. And I've never managed to feel this much excitement for speaking online as I had for when I ever spoke in person. So it was a real big shift. By the end of the program, I had a completely different outlook on what online speaking could be and how exciting it could be for you as the speaker and for the people who should be listening to you and are hopefully slightly excited as well. So my passion that I wanted to talk about was running. So if you could bear with me for a few seconds more, because he also taught me about time management, which I'm trying to stick to right now. I'm like, running for me during COVID provided an escape from the confines of COVID life. It helped me write out clear goals and then let me achieve them. And this was something I felt had been missing from me during COVID. COVID was like a stationary bubble, and running was this kind of lifeline you could hold on to. This idea of progression, you were getting faster, you were getting better, you were really moving forwards with something in your life. And every time I ran, I just had this sense of being able to reconnect with nature and expand the experience of COVID beyond what was just the confines of my walls and my laptop and trying to write a dissertation myself in my room all day. And I went out and really connected with the world beyond what I was in my mind trapped in. So it was something that allowed me to go outside, and my legs burned and my lungs burned and my eyes burned, but I was alive, and you know, COVID hadn't won yet. So thank you all very much for listening.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Chris. That was really wonderful. And I have to say, I wish that I had taken up running as a hobby. My hobby was eating lots of chocolate, I think, is what happened with COVID. So, but that was really, it's just lovely that we got to hear about, you know, how you felt through the program and afterwards, but also, you know, hearing about your passion, which was running, and it's just extremely evocative, you know. And really, I think we can all relate to that with COVID and that feeling of a stationary bubble and finding some way to progress through it. So that was really lovely. Thank you, Chris. And last, but definitely not least, we have Ikra. So Ikra has just completed her A-levels at Swanhurst School, and she's going to talk to you about her journey with We Speak and Wavemaker. So over to you, Ikra, if you want to turn your video on so we can see you.
Hiya, I'm Ikra, and I'm going to give my 2 cents about Wavemaker, We Speak, and how it really helped me. So prior to the whole program, in terms of confidence when it came to speaking, I was at an all-time low. And in particular, I really struggled with one-to-one interactions and sort of group settings, because I found that my anxiety and my fear of making mistakes and, you know, the fear of being embarrassed was so debilitating. And one example that really springs to mind is when I was out shopping and I'd actually purchased a faulty item. Now, in that situation, any regular person would say, I purchased a faulty item, let me just go talk to a shop assistant about it, sort it out. But to me, if you'd asked me to do that, it was like the equivalent of asking me to slay a dragon or something impossible, because it just felt so daunting and scary. And so this is where We Speak really comes in and helped me build my confidence. And I think I want to just give like I want to appreciate the way it was structured, because it was in these smaller groups with other people who were in the same boat as me. And we obviously had the lovely Wavemaker mentors. And what they did was just be so supportive and lovely. And they implemented this technique, which was the positive feedback sandwich. So it had a lot of positive feedback, which was obviously very encouraging. But what it also had was constructive criticism. And from that, I was able to pick out, you know, tips and tricks and implement them throughout the sessions. And I really saw that I was drastically improving each session. And so when it got to the final bit where we had to do this whole speech in front of the group, it was like a walk in the park, and I couldn't believe that I had just made it out to seem so much scarier than it actually was. In terms of how the programs helped me move forward, a few months after the program, I got the perfect opportunity to become a gap year tutor. And the job description, you know, really spoke to me, and I was like, yes, this is the perfect job for me. But it also had 2 interviews, and past me would have seen that and would have run away. But I put on a brave face. I breezed through the 2 interviews, and I am happy to say that I actually got the job, which I'm so excited for. And it's just crazy to me how past me was considering applying to retail, because, you know, it didn't involve that interview process, and I've really come out my bubble. So all in all, the program really helped alleviate a lot of my anxieties and doubts, and I've got my job, and I'm so excited to, you know, implement all the tips and techniques, and explore and take all the opportunities I get now. So yeah, thank you for listening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ikra. And first of all, congratulations on your job. That's awesome news. Really good. And also, I just want to say, it's so nice to see you speaking like this. You're just so natural when you speak and so lovely to listen to. And I think you're a really good example of someone who's actually always been a great communicator. You just maybe didn't realise it. So you make our job super easy, because all you have to do is just go, oh, I'm great. And that's it. So yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ikra. Lovely to hear from you. And that's it. So thank you once again to all our wonderful students. I'm actually really proud of you all. You know, you 3 in particular, for coming up and speaking in front of, you know, this big audience here. It feels like it's like the next step in the challenge for you. And you, all 3 of you, did an amazing job. Just so good. So thank you so much. And also, I just want to say thank you to the mentors who helped our students practice and prepare today, because I think that was a really nice and really useful thing to do. And I think that preparation and practice will always help, you know, sort of make you feel comfortable when you go and do this. So thanks to the Wavemaker mentors who gave us some more time for that. So thank you so much. And back over to you, Rita and Yara.
Thanks, Laura. I mean, again, congratulations, Ikra, and all the speakers. I mean, Laura, if there's an extra space in the next cohort, please sign me up, because that was really, really lovely to watch. So I'm going to hand over to the Wavemaker mentors now. So Nick and Oliver, I'll hand over to Nick to go first.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
Brilliant. Hello, everybody. So it's so nice to be here. I'm really looking forward to it. Just a few things to say. The first is a huge well done to Lara, to Chris, to Ikra for speaking so beautifully and movingly, and also to everybody for graduating. massive thank you to We Speak, especially I spent most of my time with Laura and Sydney, I see there. So thank you, ladies. And then obviously to the Wavemaker crew, especially Rita. Well done on your award, Rita. Wrong girl. So a few things. The first thing I wanted to say is that is a thank you to everybody, because I think that really with We Speak, you get back what you put in. So I absolutely love doing the sessions. I guess, you know, people could look at it and think, oh, how wonderful for these young people. You know, they get all this advice from these seasoned professionals, but I don't feel like that at all. One, I find it an absolute pleasure. It's a chance to meet some brilliant people. And two, I really like all the big questions that you hear asked and answered. So things like, you know, what's your dream job? What's one of your biggest strengths? Those aren't things that you get to think about much when your career gets going. So it's just such a pleasure. So I am going to stick to the structure that you've taught us, because under the simplicity of what We Speak is like everything that seems simple, there's actually a huge amount of work and thought and analysis that goes into creating a very simple seeming structure. So I've got three things that I want to say. The first is that I think to all the students, you are always better than you think. So the first time I did this, Laura said to me, oh, you know, there's lots of, you know, young people at colleges, at uni, or about to go into higher education, and they don't feel confident about formal speaking environments. So I didn't know what to expect, but what I got was not what I expected. I think, you know, the way you feel about yourself is often not the way other people perceive you. I just was blown away. And maybe it's self-selecting, you know, like the way people who phone into radio shows are always really miserable and complain about things. Maybe the people, you know, maybe the people that sign up to We Speak are, I don't know, generally more interesting and eloquent and just have that in them anyway. But yeah, always better than you think. The second thing is I really like, I think Chris said it, the focus on the material rather than the audience, because I just think that that's critical. I really like the way students apply their personal passions to their professional ambitions. So I think it was Tony, I see Tony on here somewhere, who I talked to this year. She talked about her dream job of being an academic researcher. And, you know, I said to her, well, you know, what is it about you? Why do you think that you're cut out for that? And she said, one of the things she said is because I really love true crime. I really love solving mysteries. And you know, that interest, that curiosity is perfect for someone who wants to do academic research. And the third thing is I really like about the students, and I think this is very true of the contemporary workplaces, that they're not afraid to change course. And that's really important. And I think the programme encourages them with that. So one of the students I talked to this year, for instance, had started a psychology degree. They decided they were more interested in media and marketing. And then they'd taken that knowledge of human behaviour and applied it to consumer behaviour to help them switch. So I think that flexibility is cool. And then to end on, I just want to take the feedback sandwich. Now, when I started work, the feedback sandwich was called something much ruder. So shout out to We Speak for giving it a nicer name. And say that the first thing, so my first bit of feedback, it's a great decision to sign on with this organisation because the people rock, and you know, as you all know, it improves you. The second thing is just to hang on to the values that they teach you. So the values about being yourself and always bring your personality, no matter where you come from, bring your personality. And then the third is just a huge congratulations on graduating. So well done, lovely people.